Okay. I'm gonna try another one of these experimental streams. Can't remember if I did the mic change for last stream. Because what was last stream? Was it Heroes 2? Because I remember I was like really just disappointed with that audio quality. But Gran Turismo 3. This is a very special game for me. It's actually the very first video game I ever played. I would have been about 3 years old when I tried this. Yeah, 25 years, unbelievable. Yeah, like I said, this is an experimental stream, so I really don't know how long this will go for. If the new settings with the emu is gonna like it or not. Because I understand that some tracks are a bit selective with what it goes on with. Are we on? What's the showing a black screen? Hello? I don't know. Yeah, it's totally a black screen. What the fuck? Ah, I see. Cause alright, yeah, this is what I mean. Experimental stream for the win. So I can do that. As soon as I do that. No. Device not connected or not available. Methinks otherwise. Here we go. That's better. I'm like looking at the playback and I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, I'm not making that same freaking mistake with bloody Twinsanity with the lacking lacking in audio. Yeah, once was enough. But yes, Gran Turismo 3. Very I think influential in a lot of ways. But holy crap, what a game to introduce me to gaming in general. Yeah, I really do hold this game close to my heart. I'm very hypercritical with what GT games did after, and even to a degree before, but more so after. Yeah, I could say things about GT4, and I mean, you know, while positive all around, all things considered. Yeah, I do have some thoughts, but I said that for a G4 stream. But for now, jump into this. Yeah, so I am starting very late, because of which I don't know, how long this will be going for. We'll just see how we go, I guess. Try a Grand Prix out and see where that takes us. But yeah, this is the last. Where is it? Yeah, this is the last thing I unlocked and for good reason, because oh my god, I really needed to use the save states to unlock the specific livery with this speed 12, because yeah, to specifically get chameleon blue, holy shit. I counted it too because it got to an absurd point that I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna start counting this. And from memory, it was like I think 200 to 300 times that I loaded into the save state to get into the prize car spinner randomizer. Because that's the thing, right? You know, you have to not only get the right car of the four cars you're gonna get, you also need to make sure you have the right livery. And it just so happens that of all the different paint jobs you can get for the Speed 12, where am I going? Okay, I believe. Yes. There is a lot of freaking colors. A lot to unlock, and I think I pretty much did unlock everything but the darn one I was after. Go figure, huh? But I persisted and yeah, got it. Because, I don't know, just it's always been my favorite since day one of playing the game. I've warmed up to others over time, but nah, I've always had a soft spot for this one. But yeah, forget getting this legitimately on PS2 though. Holy cow. Holy cow. How was that audio was? But yeah, I always had a soft spot for this one. But okay, so what is that? Is that no music or shit, forget getting yeah, no, there's no menu or UI, so I'll turn it up and let's hang on. We got oh weird. It's saying there's audio on that. Testing 1, 2, 3. Are we good? Yeah, no, there's no menu or UI, so I'll turn it's saying there's audio on that. Okay, I hear it now. Weird that I couldn't really hear it here. I guess it is pretty quiet. And on top of that, I did actually turn up the mic, so because of which, let's give that a try. I'll do a race to test it out. Or will I? Actually, I'll just jump into anything like a time trial, just get like a quick audio test. Actually, I forget if I did clock this, because I have in the past, but I forget for this save specifically if I have. Okay, good, I have. Good. But that's that. Is that across all of them? Yeah, cool. Good to know. Yeah, okay. So what am I actually up to next? Because I went into this in the most obscure way. I did all the time trials first, I believe, or arcade mode. Like I said, this arcade mode. Yeah, I either did all the races and then did the time trials, or I did the time trials, then all the races. And then after that, because they give you a car for it for doing all the time trials from memory. Yeah, I think they gave us this. And after doing all that, I thought, yeah, all right, it's time. Let's try it out. Let's go for it. Get the license, and I did do them all. And yeah, no, it was not pretty. But this has all been like across several different like mini sessions where I would like portably take the Steam Deck out of its dock and just play it in my own time. Because I really do enjoy playing this, just off time, free time type of thing. So yeah, across several different sessions, just got it out and tried to gold all the licenses and proud to say it was done legitimately. But after that, yeah, we won a car for that. Why does that not look right there? Because I feel like you get that if you complete all of it. Unless I'm misremembering it. I can't remember which one it was, but it could be like starting class all the way to the final class for all these, maybe. Yeah, I think that's what that is. Either way, with the cars that I did win from time trial and the license center, I basically took that to endurance race right off the bat, and I can't remember if I did it in like the normal like chronological order or if I just jumped straight into this because I've done this a few times in the past. And then with that kind of really boosted up the credits, and then I could get like better cars, and just in general, it allowed me to bypass the entire growth progression, so to speak, and just jump straight into getting an F1 from the get go. So if I did start with like that, I then would have gone back to like the very start and just do them one at a time individually. And then after I did that, same thing, rally. No? Ooh, that doesn't make sense. I do remember doing rally. Unless I'm thinking of before the game save got wiped when the freaking. Yeah, because I did lose a save. And thanks for reminding me, game. So I'm gonna have to redo that. That's fine. That's fine. No, this time around I must have just jumped straight to professional then. And again, I went in like a weird, like reverse order. Formula GT, like Blend, PD Cup, Dream Car, and as I said, left off on this just to get that bloody what do they call it? The chameleon blue livery. Very frustrating because I even like looked it up and it was like, yeah, no, if you're in the trophy screen and you save stated it there, yeah, no, it's too late. You have lost your ability to do it. You have to do it before you enter the trophy screen when you're in the race results. I was like, I'm not sure I believe that because the fact that it like does not only shift cars for your prize screen, but it also shifts liveries. If it does that, why would it lock out certain, you know, paint jobs ultimately? And sure enough, I kept on persisting till I did get it, and I was like, okay, the GPT got it wrong. Let's go. No, but no, it was good. It was good to persist and to pull it off. But that now does bring us up to date 2 and for this. So yeah, okay. Yeah, this part of it really is starting to make me need to like actually purchase the cars now. Because before I really did try to just rely on what I had, but yeah, I don't think I've got anything that is going to pass that. Do I? Because what are we actually looking for? Um, oh, okay, maybe I can do it. Yeah, no cars are excluded as long as it's. Wait, hang on. Alright. Because when it says rules apply, that's the indicator that, yeah, no, it's not going to work, but it doesn't. Ah, okay, here we go, here we go. Gotcha. Okay. And just to be sure, yeah. So, what is that again? I feel like I should remember this, but. Yeah, okay. Oh, sweet. I'm actually in the process of rendering as we speak the um, some of the GT3 tracks that I've been meaning to do for some time, um, but just be waiting for the right time, I guess. Because it's in typical fashion, I think of these ideas like well after the anniversary, and it's like, okay, do I set it up and schedule it, or do I wait for a more closer time? And typically it's the latter, and because of which it doesn't really, well, didn't really go well in the past 2 years. Back when I had the limited 10 upload a day setup, but because that's since changed, we should be able to go at a bit more of a leisurely pace. But yeah. So yeah, we'll test this out, make sure that this is all A-okay. The audio. Wow, this actually looks really great. First time I'm actually testing this out with the new settings. Because I briefly tried it before, before the emulator decided to bail on me and it reset the settings back to normal and I had to set it up again. It was so weird when that happened because it was right before the monkey stream, the escape stream, because that really just... Like, I literally booted into it just to do like a quick test run to make sure it was still working and I still had my save. And as soon as I went to load into the save state, it just immediately was like, not having it. And I'm like, alright, fine, I'll have to load into the manual save, let's boot back into it. And then it, actually no, sorry, it was the other way around. I checked the manual save and was like, oh no, it's not there. Oh well, at least we've got the, hopefully, save state, and then that again caused it to crash. And then when I went to boot back into it to start a new game manually, yeah, the emulator just totally bailed. It just wouldn't load into anything, and don't know why it did that. But no, this actually looks freaking nice. I haven't seen it look this good in, well, ever. On my end, at least. I've seen videos look this good, but yeah, I kind of feel a bit bummed out that it's taken me this long to get it in a state where it's looked this great, especially since I've been, playing this for the past like 2 years on the Steam Deck. I mean, heck, I've even made videos with the old settings, and people even comment on that and like, why aren't you using the expanded aspect ratio, or why are you stretching it? It's just, yeah. And I totally get it. I do. And I probably will redo that video one day. Especially now. Because before I went into options and changed it that way, and you still get some pretty cool looking results. But with the other setting changes, it really just elevates the graphics a little more. And I wouldn't mind doing a Nitro Kart stream too, in regards to the widescreen patches, because, yeah, again, holy crap, it's so good. It's just a shame that a lot of those types of games don't really, they didn't mold certain terrain to accommodate a more wider aspect ratio, but it is what it is. Alright. How does that sound? Oh, wider aspect ratio, but it is what it is. And I wouldn't mind doing a Nitro Kart stream too, in regards to the widescreen patches, because, yeah, again, holy crap, so good. It's just a shame that a lot of those types of games don't really, they didn't mold the same terrain. Yeah, I think I'll keep that as is. I was going to turn it up, but because of how unpredictable the mic quality tends to be these days, yeah, that's not a bad level for the game, I think. But I have noticed that either when I'm streaming like live and playing back like the audio, versus when I listen to it like on the TV, just for audio comparison, it does seem to be different. And I guess it should come as no surprise. You do have, a TV versus a MacBook, but still. it's I don't know. It almost sounds like the mic quality is changing, and it's enough to make me wonder: um, is it perhaps changing it? Like after I've finished the stream and I've gone to like play it back, has it like processed it and because of which kind of compressed it? But I mean, either way, I'd be curious to see how this fares after the fact. It's kind of a shame. I grew up with this game in a lot of ways, but in a lot of other ways, I also kind of didn't. I did really play a lot of this back in the early 2000s, but I don't think I really played enough of it at the same time. I think I got to a point where I was like, I've got enough credits, I've got enough cars. That's all I need, I don't need to do every event, even though I would like to. Because I can already, feel it. That, just my initial reaction, just seeing, the thumbnail to the event, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's one of those events that I just didn't have any interest in doing back then. So, yeah, I know that I would have just glossed over this and would have wanted to just do another round of the dream races. So, yeah, I really love that event. I wish this track would make a return, because they kind of did a variation of it in GT5, I believe. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's like a on the other side of the road type of thing to this street circuit for 5. And, in a sense, even this version of the track you could say the same thing for this in regards to GT2's take on Rome, because I didn't know for the longest time that there was a part of this track that pops up even there. But I think it's GT5 specifically that really actually connects to this part right here. And it's like, okay, so, by that logic, we have 2, if not 3, variations of the Rome street circuit. How the heck do we still not have it in, modern Gran Turismo, whether it's GT7 or Sport? So I think that's what really made them shoot themselves in the foot for GT7, because that really it was basically advertising itself as a return to form, something I believe that was even dubbed as such, to be something that would be for the fans, for the classic fans specifically. It felt like they were alluding to a return of previous tracks, and even some of the more fictional kind of cars, like the Le Mans FTO, or the super touring cars even, you know, just, I don't know. I think it was more so the tracks for me that I was really looking forward to, because holy crap, the amount of like updates that GT7 seems to get that just brings in more cars, and you know, the more the merrier, but the tracks though. Don't forget about the tracks. But unfortunately, I think it just seems to be more with the priority of porting real life tracks, which, you know, I guess that's not really unfortunate, but it's more so the fact that ever since they got affiliated with the FIA, it feels like there's just been like a stranglehold over PD's control for Gran Turismo and what they have done with the game since they've partnered with them. And I feel like that's why Gran Valley is now a highway and why Trial Mountain no longer is fun. It's like, okay, you're gonna take these tracks and you're gonna make them more realistic, or you're gonna do what real life tracks do over time, just add a chicane here where there didn't need to be one, or just extend the track as reasons, you know, just, it's not for me, personally. I'm very eager to try out some of the mods that are continuously being updated, which is so cool to say, let alone know, because, yeah, I remember for the longest time, I was just imagining, man, like, ever since I saw the Supersonic mod for 06, I wondered, like, what else could be modded that I've grown up with. Yeah, could GT3 be modded? And if so, for what? What could it do? What could you put in there? And as I grew up over the years, and we entered the 2010s, I think it was around there where it became an increasing curiosity of mine, like, would there ever be Gran Turismo 3 mods? Gran Turismo 4 mods even? Because I was super curious about it. I think more than anything, I was anxious of the prospect of porting a lot of the GT3 elements to GT4. Specifically, like, stuff like the sounds. Like, I prefer the engine sounds of GT3 much more compared to GT4s, because GT4s just makes them sound like vacuum cleaners. It's not just the engines, like, even like the tires screech, it's not just annoying or more annoying, but it's also super sensitive, so just something as basic as a slight turn or steer around a corner like the one I just did, or this, it's shoved in your face, and it's like, quiet that thing down, please. You know, it is annoying. And I can even say from experience, from the people I've lived with, they would get more bummed out about GT4 in terms of the volume and the noise as opposed to GT3. So, pardon the pun, but that quite literally speaks volumes. But no, it is something I've wondered about for a while. Can we get some kind of mod to port a lot of the GT3 aspects to 4? Whether it's the sound, whether it's the cars. Like I can't believe they didn't port the Toyota GT1 road car to 4 when they literally had the R390 road car in 4. So I don't know what happened there, but well, we've got the black cars, I guess. Compensating. But yeah, I really did wonder for a long time if it would ever happen. If I was just going to be like this, odd one out that always wondered about these things, but nothing ever amounted from it. Nothing ever came of it. Whether it was because, just games from decades ago at this point, or what have you. But no, we do now live in an era where there's basically updates every year, if not every few months, regarding GT3 or GT Concept, GT4 mods, and it's just it's nice to say. But yeah, I'm very anxious to try out the concept mod. I'm tempted to just let them cook and try it out when it's done, because I think that's probably the best way to do it. Because yeah, sure, if you joined in the server, you can try out like a more like early access, and that's really generous. But I'm patient enough to wait for it. Because I mean, as long as we do keep getting the updates and being briefed on like what's being done, then no worries. And that's super cathartic that we have GT4 tracks in GT3 as part of the mod. Because we've got, what is it, Paris, the street circuit. I think New York is in the developments. I don't know if it's properly been ported yet, but yeah, if it hasn't been, then it shouldn't be too long now, I imagine. Fuji Speedways, I think that and Tsukuba are really just, thank you for the game collectors out there. Because we would not have gotten that if it weren't for the Looper GT concept build that was dumped, going back a couple years now, I think. Yeah, July 6. No, that was a really great day for the GT community, GT3 especially, because it really is like, okay, this is the closest thing to an official. Well, I mean, it is. It's an official way of playing Tsukuba, because that's what the track was in the demo. Tsukuba in on the Gran Turismo 3 engine through concept. So yeah, no, that's that's unbelievable. Because that's the thing. I grew up with GT3 and GT4, but I think from day one I just could never really click with GT4 in the same way as I did with 3. I think just generally like something as minor as like the art style, I just seem to prefer like stuff like the UI, the more like warmer, sometimes even like dirty kind of colors and tones of the menu design and the UI, compared to GD4's more clean, transparent, light blue, white kind of approach. And I mean, obviously they were trying to have its own like style and theme, but I have to kind of bring up GD2 then, but with that in mind, with that context, because I haven't played GT2 as much as I want to now, and if you said that that would be the case for me going back about 5 doesn't sound right, maybe 7 to 10 years ago, I'd be like, nah, GD2's not for me. Part of the PS1 era, I didn't really fully grow up on that. I mean, I did, but I just didn't really play those games. Especially when you had something as goated as GD3 instead, waiting for you. But yeah, there is. I returned to the game in the last few years and to GT2, and I was bewildered to the amount of GT3 elements that were in the game, from the sound design to the menus, even the UI. Just has a lot of GT3 elements, and it's like, yeah, holy crap, what a shocker! It's almost like it was the game before GT3. So no, I do get it to a degree, but I think it just, it's why for me it works against how much they did change in GT4, because I've always been, even like before like experiencing other games, I've just always preferred it when a game sequel respects what came before and carries on the tradition, so to speak. I think this is why I absolutely applaud what was done with Sonic 2, how it verbatim has pretty much the exact same UI, slightly altered title screen to accommodate the new additions. Even the music, it might come off as samey, but I'm glad that they kept the same traditional jingle as the title screen and completing a level. That's how you know you're part of the same franchise, so to speak. Like, to me, it just wouldn't be the same if I, for example, jumped into Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets and I didn't hear John Williams' theme. Hans Zimmer better honor it. He won't. He didn't honor Tasm's first theme by James Horner, but anyway, it's a story for another time. Yeah, just G4 really did change so much, and which is amazing considering how much it also didn't change. But like I think the thing that bugged me more than it should have was the chase cam, because this is peak chase cam. It's smooth, not too slow, not too fast. But then you jump into GT4, and it's, I mean, is there a wonder to why one of the earliest GT4 mods literally recreates, or if not ports, the direct code of GT3's Chase Cam 2 4? Because, yeah, it's so, like, glued to it that it feels like it's, like, fighting to keep up, and it's just... yeah, it's not good. I could see why it didn't bug my father when he played the game, because he is more of the cockpit view, which I get. But still, back in those early days of playing the games, I was always using the chase cam. And, you know, fair enough, I was young. And more than that, I could see the car. But, yeah, I do hope I get a chance to cover GT4, especially now that I've done most of the things I wanted to do first, regarding like the Nike 22, the soundtrack itself. Still got to extend it though. That'd be nice to attend to at some point. But all in good time. But because I do still enjoy the game for all it does get right, but it has a very similar, yeah, I have a very similar relationship with Broken Bond to GT4, because they're both sequels to, for me, first installments that are superior one. But it's not just that. Like, even just on like a visual standpoint, like if you go from this version of Grand Valley Speedway to GT4's Grand Valley Speedway, you go from a very warm, welcoming, colorful but not too colorful environment in GT3 to GT4's take on it, which kind of feels like it's going for a bit more, I mean, I don't want to say realism, because this feels real, but it feels like this almost is like trying to emulate, like, what? I don't know, the lighting and colors of a golf course, for example, whereas GT4's, I feel, was trying to probably go for a bit more realism, but at the same time, I think a bit too often, you know, you come across these courses that have just almost yellow-looking grass to convey that, you know, it's just the seasons have changed and it's not full of life anymore. But, you know, it's not just the textures, you know, I think even the lighting itself is just... It is supposed to be better, and it, you know, it is in a lot of ways, but, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. I think there was a bit too much overcast in GT4 in general. A lot less, blue skies. Which, I don't know, if there was, like, settings for it, I probably wouldn't mind it as much. Because that's the thing, right? They kind of got rid of that, almost. The whole thing with the wet. Because you have Tsukuba in the wet, I do remember that. But, I don't know, it just kind of feels like they, they could have added it for more tracks, but just didn't. And any existing tracks that had it, i.e., special stage route, yeah, that had that in the wet for GT3, they just didn't seem interested in doing it again, almost. Just like, again, I'm glad that they at least didn't totally abandon it and repurposed it for a different track, but still. But I think the most compelling part of this argument might be the reversals of the tracks, because I absolutely adored that you could go into this track, for example, in its normal progression, like we are doing now, and it's a nice blue sky afternoon, and it looks great. But you can then go and do the reversal of the track, and it's not the same. It's actually, well, I always thought it was early in the morning, but I'm sure others would say it's dusk. Either way, it's a different setting to the normal progression. I absolutely dig that. They did something similar for Deep Forest. Actually, I think it's the same, pretty much, but yeah, the point is, you have, yeah, your normal progression, then you have a different setting for the reversal, and that's so cool to me, you know? It just, I do not get how that didn't happen for GT4. And if it was like a setting, or it's the player's choice, fine, so be it, fair enough, but that's not the game we got. So, it's a minor thing in the grand scheme of things, for sure. But, you know, I think it's just, for me, it always tends to be a lot of these, like, minor things just piling up. You know, like the sounds, the physics, the UI, the screeching tire, the chase cam, the lack of different lighting when doing a reverse of a track. You know, you just put all these together, they slowly started to build up with my playthroughs of the game. And it just got to a point where I was like, yeah, no, I kind of prefer playing GT3 a bit more. For sure, the physics are absolutely more inviting as well. I hear often people say that 3's physics are a bit more arcadey, as opposed to 4's that are a bit more realistic, but I don't know. I had a go at Nordschleife and Le Mans, gone back some months now. And I did it in a Le Mans race car as well. I think it was the Beamer. And I just couldn't really get into it. And albeit, I think what helped a lot was being in a cockpit view as opposed to a chase cam view. So perhaps growing up in the days when I was using the chase cam over anything else, I don't think that helped my experience and reaction to the game, for sure. Especially with the chase cam. But, the chase cam difference. But, despite that, it did feel, in general, it just felt different. It didn't feel the same. It just felt like the physics were, like, begging to punish the player. Oh, you put a single tire on the grass? Yeah, well, while we pulled you a little bit on GT3, no, we're absolutely tug-of-warring you onto the grass now, you know, just, yeah. Again, arguably more realistic, but yeah, just not for me. It's weird too, because even though that is on paper, it's the argument to basically be like, okay, well that's it. I guess GT4 is the winner if it is more realistic, and it's supposed to be advertised as the real driving simulator. For some reason, I still just feel like, well, why? From my experiences, why does it feel to me anyway that GT3's is the more realistic? Because I applaud, the efforts and the pros especially for 4, absolutely. But I think 4 just kind of felt like it was trying a bit too hard to have every detail of realism, to the point that it for me anyway, it just made it a bit of an uncomfortable way to play the game. Because to me, it just felt like I was always on edge. I couldn't even go in a freaking straight line without worrying that the wind was gonna, screw it up for me with my balance, or the tire just not even going like fully on the grass, just skimming like the white line, for example, and that would be enough to just completely throw it off. It just, yeah, I don't know. It really just, to me, felt like an exaggerated form of realism. But you can't fault them for trying to be realistic. And hey, everybody else seems to be all for it, so they must be doing something right. But I do wonder where G8 will take us going into the future, because I remember when I was living in a different house at the time, when the news was broke that GT8 officially started development, and I was like, already? I don't even think it had been 2 years after 7 was released, and I was like, oh, they're just, okay, they're already abandoning 7, they're not going to do too big an update, so don't expect too many tracks at this point. Holy shit. So, yeah, I do have to wonder where its execution will take us. Will they, or will they not break the tradition of GT engines? Because, how do I put it? When you really break it down, we curiously got a very consistent scheduling from PD regarding Gran Turismo in the PS whatever era. Any kind of PlayStation console. We got GT1 and 2 for the PS1. 2 Gran Turismo games. We got GT3 and GT4 for the PS2 era. We got GT5 and 6 for the PS3 era, so on and so forth. Or so I would like to say. But curiously, because GT7 took a business year to get in a presentable state, so to speak, we curiously had the tradition sort of broken with the PS4, because Sport kind of filled in for both games. Not filling in for GT7 and GT8, but filling in for like a GT 6.4, GT 6.8, so to speak. In the form of, yeah, having this this FIA collaboration that was almost like a GT Concept 2.0, but it was more involved. You know, you had online play, you had again this partnership with FIA that really did take it to a new level in more ways than one. So yeah, it's not really surprising that it took up the Gran Turismo games for the PS4 era. But now that the PS5 era is still upon us, it's among us. It feels as though at the rate that we're going at, we may not get GT8 for the final stretch of the PS5's runtime lifespan. They could pull what they did with GT7, how that did get a PS4 and PS5 release, so yeah, we could get like a PS5, PS6 type of deal for GT8. That's kind of weird to say, actually, that yeah, we're nearly in an era of Gran Turismo 8, which is just, yeah, surreal. But I must admit, I'm really not hyped or excited for anything new with GT these days. I mean, look, when you really break it down, I haven't been hyped since GT5, ultimately. Because I remember seeing the box art and thinking, okay, this looks like it's very GT4-esque. And I tried the prologue, and I was pretty much immediately just turned off of it, zoned out. And I'm not really sure why, but it just, yeah, it wasn't doing it for me. And the last time I played GT5 would have been about 3 or 4 years. I thought I'd give it a shot on PS3, see if I can actually get into the game. And yeah, just physics were not doing it for me at all. I wouldn't mind playing GT 6 a bit more to really treat it properly. Also 5 and 6, but you know, 6 essentially is like an update. Like, a lot of the problems with 5 had been addressed in 6 for obvious reasons. But see, I wish we'd get a return to this track, because holy shit, this is a glorious looking track, and the fact that we were even going to get the GT2 variant in this game, but did not, is already pretty upsetting. But yeah, this has not made a comeback or any acknowledgement in essentially 25 years, which is just bonkers to me. How do we go 25 years without just considering or acknowledging its existence? You know, like, how? And this is what I mean. I feel like, especially after getting involved with the FIA, it just feels like, oh yeah, no, we're not doing fictional tracks. No, get that crap out of here. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but holy crap, though. Why are we getting away from these tracks are awesome. They're part of its history, and it's almost like they don't want to honor or respect or even acknowledge the history. And it's just, it's frustrating. Because at most we seem to be just getting, yeah, Trial Mountain, Deep Forest, and Apricot Hill. Did we get that? I can't even remember if we got that. Yeah, Grand Valley, Trial Mountain. Oh, what's that other one? I can picture the layout, but I can't remember the name. Because that luckily didn't undergo any change. Because that's what I mean. It just feels like, oh, the FIA had to give some notes on, like, yeah, this track would actually look like this if it were real life, so make the change. But let's be real, what we got, they weren't bad. They're not Hot Wheels tracks, you know? They could be a lot worse. They could be complex string, but they are not. And speaking of complex string, I can't believe I never noticed it till recently, but if you really look at the layout for it and compare it to Suzuka, it's kind of a bit of an experimental test course, so to speak, or test stage of what a more complex looking version of Suzuka could look like. Yeah, I was really bewildered, and I think what really drew this connection or solidified the connection, if you like, is the fact that GT3 does have, or is it concept, one of the two, basically has this test stage, which is essentially Tsukuba, but rally and with a lot of hills. And I think that's just the thing. That's that to me proves that they wanted to experiment with the layouts of tracks, and did so by recreating it and kind of just remixing it, so to speak. And if they did that with Tsukuba, then why can't we say that they did that for Suzuka in the form of complex string? Because I don't know, I feel it's a fair assessment, because it does have unmistakable similarities, if you know what to look for. But yeah, I would freaking love to see this track return. I always wanted to see tracks like this at daytime, in the wet, different dynamic lighting. But yeah, still waiting. Maybe one day. If not by PD, perhaps the fans. Definitely the fans, what am I saying? So that's the thing, we even got the GD2 version of this track. Not just in the demo for the game, for GD3, but even modded back in. So that was pretty cool. I find it so interesting, the betas for this game. Because, Apricot Hill was apparently going to get, like, a lot of trees. And that just forestified it. Grand Valley had literal buildings, skyscrapers in the foreground, which was like, oh my gosh. Then there's one of the earliest differences I ever saw, courtesy of the Prima guide. Super Speedway had the GT2 not bridge, undercover area for the final corner, and that what could I say? Because I hadn't played GT2, I quite literally did experience its existence, or rather, saw its existence first through the Prima Guide. And I remember that always kind of bugging me, because I was like, what am I looking at? Why does the track look different? Why does the UI look different? Is this a different game? What is this? But unfortunately, that wasn't the worst of it, because I even thought for a while that that they wouldn't lie to us. That has to be in the game. There must be a different mode that I have yet to unlock or something that changes the UI. And in the same way that it changes the setting when you go in a reverse of a track, it's probably just that you go into Super Speedway and boom, you get a different take on it for either reverse or something along those lines. It's nice to dream. If I could rip this skybox, I would 100% repurpose it for R6. And this isn't just a thought. It's actually something that I've had in the back of my mind for a few years now. So I remember going back to, I think it was 2019-ish. No, actually. No, it would have been earlier. 2017, 18-ish, somewhere around there. I returned to GT3 and it kind of just blew my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, this has a very similar skybox to that deleted alternate opening shot of R6. More than that, it doesn't just have a purple tinge to a part of the skybox. It literally has the sun rising or setting, depending on your perspective. Point is, it would be absolutely fucking perfect for a 6. Because that way you could quite literally get the day-night cycle progression. Well, it's not even that. You could quite literally get the opening cutscenes setting into the start of the morning, which is going to clue into wave version. That's ultimately what it is. Why I feel this skybox and lighting would be perfect for it. But unfortunately, we have not received any kind of model resource rips for either the vehicles or the tracks. But again, give it time, you never know. What's happened after all. Yeah, I don't know. Just this game really is a trip for me. It's a trip down memory lane. Takes me back to better times. Times that really did feel magical. Thank God for emulation there, huh? I mean, look, if it did come to it where it just maybe wasn't there in the cards for emulating PS2 games, or just in general emulating full stop, I probably would have dug out the PS2 because I do. It's not like I don't have the cables and the equipment to set up a stream with it. It's more so the fact that it's just more convenient, it's more faster, less work. But more than that, it's better looking, better performance to emulate it these days. It's funny. I actually did cover the game 5 years ago, to the day. But back then I knew there probably wouldn't be like an audience for it. So I for the longest time had it just inaccessible, so I completely forgot till I encountered it recently. But yeah, it's amazing what's happened in 5 years. Because, you know, back when I tried this last time on the channel, yeah, I hadn't even started the story yet. I mean, well, I say that. It's not like I didn't have the ideas. It's just I hadn't written down a thing. Now, I'm 2k words from 300,000 words, and it's just... It's a bit overkill, but luckily it's, you know, the final story. I'm starting at the end for a reason. I'm trying to build to something big, and hopefully by which point, by the time I get to the end, it'll I'll have proved myself, and you know, there'll be something there to be like, okay, yeah, no, this is obviously a big deal. Let's see what this is about. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get a bit more stuck into the first story that I need to attend to, because that's this year especially I would like to, because that's kind of starting to get to a point where it's like, well, there's no point doing the end if you're not going to have a start, right? So, yeah, I would like to get back onto that, because that's just been in limbo for too long. But honestly, so much has been in limbo. Even like the video projects, I mean, I don't know if I've slowed down or not, because I don't feel like even with like the video editing tools kind of like just not responding every so often, I just feel, I do feel a bit slower, but I also think I take a bit too many opportunities to either take a break or just let it like load, and then I get stuck doing something else type of thing. Yeah, not good. Because I think that's what's ultimately hindered the channel trailer this year. Yeah, it would have been nice for it to have gone out on the 25th. Because I actually was working like pretty non-stop on that day to see if I could get everything done, but it became clear that just wasn't really going to happen. So I decided I'd either try to get it out today, or maybe the 30th if we're on top of things. Yeah, it's... How do I put it? It's about 99% complete, which is freaking amazing to say, because it took a while to get it in its current state. A lot of exhaustion, no doubt, but yeah, it quite literally is just the final touches now, so it won't be long. It won't be, well, shouldn't be long. But I do have conditions that I want to have met before I can say, yes, I'm satisfied with that. That can go out now. The silver lining to the current predicament of this, and I don't know if I've mentioned this in a previous stream, but at this rate, it will go out as a 2026 slash 2027 trailer for things to come. And yeah, I think that's a fair trade-off, waiting this long. Especially since it is also going to be, again, the last one. That way it kind of it keeps the theme going into the end of next year. But yeah, it quite literally is just the final visual touch-ups and clip replacements and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it can get a lot of people talking about things for sure, and that's the point. It's supposed to like reacquaint people with certain things that maybe aren't as known or talked about or acknowledged. Look, I love this truck. But yeah, this game really was, well, I don't want to say fully unexpected, but like, I mean, like according to my schedule, I mean, because I did say, when was it, June, I think I said I'd be back. But yeah, I looked at the calendar and was like, oh yeah, GT3 on the 28th. And then it just kind of clicked. I was like, oh shit, that's turning 25. Okay, well that would be wrong to not at least do some kind of a Grand Prix championship event. But yeah, unfortunately the scheduling on my part did mean I had to set it up so we would be streaming it now instead of later. The only drawback to doing it now is that it is going to be a significantly shorter stream. And on top of that, I'm also going to be infinitely more tired than I would be if I slept on it now and got to work afterward. But it is what it is. It's ultimately a one-off anyway. It's amazing. I can already feel it. It's like my vision. It's hard to keep my eyes focused. Which is weird too, because I had a very similar sensation. Not yesterday. Actually, no, maybe it was yesterday. Or if not, the day before. Because yeah, I was trying out a racing rig, and it was just really hard to focus, but I wasn't anywhere near as tired then compared to now, but still, for some reason, I just wasn't able to like glue concentration on the coming up road. I think the thing I really like about a lot of the trucks in this game is it feels like there's a lot of room for variations in the future, irrespective if they actually were or weren't considering it. Because from my experiences, you know, Grand Valley took me by surprise when I went into GT4 and was like, oh, okay. So there is, like a different version. Shorter version. See, like, to the right there, and the left there, where the yellow bars are, the barriers. I feel like, yeah, where the barriers are, could be potential variations, like right here coming up on the right there. And then again on the right there. It all fits. Because I felt this with, what was it? Smoky Mountain, is it? Yeah, I'm definitely losing it. Maybe it's for the best I'm only doing one free. But yeah, it's definitely been a clutch start to this week, because I really did. I was hoping that I would have the channel trailer done by the 25th, so I could jump pretty much immediately into the next swap video recording sessions afterward. But as that did not happen, I quite literally left it to the last week, essentially. Where it's like, okay, now we're on Snurble, go do it. Go grab WAP, go grab Crisis, go put those two boards in all the stages, go impossible-ify it, and then some. And it just, yeah, it's frustrating. So I have to try and balance that now with, with not just the trailer editing, but even my streaming scheduling and all that. But I'm taking care of the music stuff that's rendering now. Done a pre now, pretty much. That's at least something. If I have time, I may do another one, but I wouldn't count on it. Because I am getting very close to being done with the trailer, and I do want to be overdone with it. Such a great track. But again, yeah, what if we changed it though? What if it was different though? What if it wasn't the same? So, 40 points, so is that it? Or is, I think there's one more. Or is theirs? Yeah. Perfect. Côte d'Azur. Wow, this isn't even slowing down a little bit. Actually, no, it's mainly here that it slows down. 3. Nope, that's fine. Holy shit. I don't know what I did different, but yeah, no, we are good. The start was fine. The sun hitting the camera was fine. We are fine. Curious if I can get this. Can I do it? I used to be pretty good at this. No more. But to be fair, I don't actually know if you can do it in this vehicle. I'll do one lap. Because, I assume you can at least do that. Yeah, it looks like it. Yep. Because this would be super fun to speedrun. Yeah, the amount of time saved and time losses that you could get. Although I don't actually know if it's allowed. I would think so. I mean, well, it's hard to say actually. Because, I mean, unless there's different categories. It's like, yeah, that really does not work. What am I doing wrong? Amazing how simplified it's become over the years. I remember the days when it was just like, okay, yep, no, that's a nice shortcut of all time from the barrier to the hill climb. But now it really has become something entirely faster, even more so. But will this be the future of GT3 speedrunning, I wonder? Because for reals, there is more than one track that behave like this, where you can get out, you can clip out. But the problem, the dilemma, is trying to clip into the course, not out of the course. Because if you can get into the course, you can get these kinds of results. Or rather, you should be able to. Yeah, it's pretty bonkers how broken that is. That's how I got the Mistral event done. And that took a while too, because I mean, 78 laps. And doesn't really matter if you're in an F1 or not, you're still stuck there for like a good 30 minutes, if not longer. Yeah, that was a fun experience. There we go. But now, what do we get for this? The professional trophy? Cool. The ribbon. But what do we get here? Ah. Okay. Anything else? Or is it just the same? Because I know that there was that one silver buggy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the same then. I'm not sure which to pick. Yeah, it certainly is very set in its liveries. Ooh. Still would like to see the right prize just in case it's different. I'm trying to remember what I had in the past. I either had that or the violet one. Yeah, this was essentially what I was doing with the what's it called? The Tuscan Raider car. The Speed 12, I kept on brooding back to there, essentially. And I did it like a good 300 times till I got what I was after. For hopefully obvious reasons now. Yeah, very obvious reasons. I think I will go with that if I don't get anything else. But again, I do want to at least see the right car. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay, good. There's not too many. Um, yeah, I think I'd like to get that. I find it interesting that the default thumbnail color is not like a light blue. Hmm. Did we see silver or white? I think we saw silver. We haven't seen black yet. No, the right one. There we go. And again, in typical fashion, it's everything but what I'm after. Yeah, we'll just get the freaking white one before we get it. Okay, there we go. We got the right one before we got the white one. But will we get the white one before the violet one? It's like two white holes. There you go. It's just like that wasn't that many, but it still just goes to show how strict it wants to be, even with that amount of liveries to try to get through. So yeah, you can imagine again for the Speed 12 being one of many, many other different ones. Why that took as long as it did. But yeah, there we go. I got my box back because I believe it was Violet, the one I had. And if I'm wrong, then it would have been light blue otherwise. But I think I'm just mistaking that for the default color. But yeah, there we go. Like I said, short stream, but if I don't have too much going on later, I might come back. But to be honest, I'm probably gonna just say it now. Probably not. Um, yeah, gonna get the music sorted already. I'd like to still get on top of the channel trailer stuff. And I've also got to finish off the snowboard swap recording sessions because I'm kind of halfway. I've just got done finishing the crisis board for everything. Just before I started up the stream because I wanted to get the other half of the session done because I did the White Acropolis board earlier today. But I wanted to, yeah, finish the Crisis board, both modding as well as recording, before I switched the HDMI to the Steam Deck. But yeah, I'll have to switch it back after I set up the mod so I can record the impossible side of things. Yeah, that's that'll be fun. And that's the thing, I've got freaking 2 days to get it done, ultimately, because yeah, right off the bat, White Acropolis impossible, and you need to have Shatter's player file to trigger the buggy circle. Yeah, I I will have to attend to that probably tomorrow. So yeah, just everything's kind of packed at the moment, which is amazing how it all kind of comes back to being very, yeah, conflicting with the schedule, but it is what it is. But I think as far as like like I said with the original schedule, it's pretty much still on. I will be still going on with the TP cars, but I don't know if I mentioned this before. I will be doing Horizon Ninja and Broken Bond speedrun on the 9th or the 10th coming up. Um, in respect to the anime festival, because I was offered to participate in it, but by the time I saw the notification, yeah, it was too late to do anything about it. So nah, it's all right. But I thought, yeah, what the heck, it would be a nice way to kind of do it as if I was going to be participating. And on top of that, it's like a good way to get both games in the one stream or 2 days. And who knows, I may get the Rise record because got a lot of new nifty strats for that, which should be exciting to see in a record. But yeah, shouldn't be too long a wait. But more than anything, I should hopefully in that waiting time have the trailer done by then. Hopefully, I mean, at this point it's super unpredictable, but yeah, like I said, at the same time though, it's like it's 99%. It's just how long is it going to take me to just be content with the final pieces of the puzzle? We'll see. We'll see. But for now, that will be all from me for today. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. And until next time, have a good one. Stay safe. And I'll see you all next time. Peace.